China just nearly shot down an Australian jet, and you need to know what just happened. Australia said, quote, "We strongly condemn this unsafe and unprofessional manoeuvre." Now what's important is what China just did in order for Australia to say this, and it's really quite a big deal. In fact, this is such a big deal that if it had gone wrong, then Australia would probably be at war with China right now. And so what did China do that caused Australia to have this reaction? Well, a Chinese fighter jet just flew alongside an Australian intelligence plane and fired its flares right in front of it. But the reason China did that is actually really important, and I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't look like China is in the wrong. Today, an Australian intelligence plane was flying through the South China Sea. To be honest, it was quite close to China and it was probably spying on China. And in response to that, China sent a fighter jet to try and scare it off. And well, the way they did it did work. China said, quote, "The Australian aircraft seriously infringed upon China's sovereignty and it had to be expelled." And as Australia said, this Chinese fighter jet that was sent to scare off this Australian intelligence plane flew alongside the Australian plane and fired off its flares, the same flares that they use to defend against missiles. Now, if this had gone wrong and these Chinese flares had hit the Australian intelligence plane, it would have easily shot down the plane and I'd be having a very different conversation with you. Luckily, it didn't, but either way though, this is really quite a big deal because Australia is really annoyed over it, but to be fair, Australia was flying pretty much over China. But as usual, you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.